Desire is a contract that you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. I was on this road trip going from the West Coast to East Coast, and I got to really sample and try and eat and do whatever I wanted, and it was a really incredible experience. The only thing is that while it was delicious and I very much enjoyed the experience, one of the things that I noticed is that I wasn't fulfilled. What I mean by that is, like, I'm someone who likes to have goals. I like to have tasks. I like to have purposes. I like to have missions. And the mission itself of delivering the car safely was enjoyable. But the point of going and being able to eat and dine and do whatever I wanted because I could, it wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it would be. I got to watch a show called Spirited Away with my lady. I don't know if anybody's seen that. Amazing Miyazaki film. And in the film, if you haven't ever seen it, spoiler alert, there is a character called No Face, right, who comes up to the main character and is constantly trying to seduce the main character, giving her more and more, and she's constantly denying it, and it enrages the beast because the beast is fed off of greed. And I couldn't help but to think of this as I went from these epic destinations and vacation spots throughout the U.S. where I was just traveling through the locations and people were making a thing of it. You know, go to Nashville and there's all these bridesmaids going to go crazy and go wild. And I was mostly voyeuristically going along the journey. But I would notice that if you feed into this piece of you that has this desire or this greed, it only is a self-fulfilling thing that wants more and more and more. And much like No Face from Spirited Away, if you have seen it, when No Face gets into the bathhouse and keeps consuming like crazy, he goes into this giant blob. And so the main character takes him out of the spa inside the bathhouse because he was going crazy. And I think this is true for all of us, is that at least for myself, as I noticed, is that there's a piece of me, this like indulgence monkey that wants to consume and eat and go crazy and have all this stuff. And I mean, I was able to eat and dine and drink or do whatever I want across this whole nation. And while it was an experience where I learned a lot and I got to really indulge a lot, at the end of it, I feel like if I kept doing that for the rest of my life, not just 2 weeks, but for 52 weeks of the year, I wouldn't feel good. I would just have emptiness on the inside. And I think that people say that they seek happiness when they're going out and doing certain activities, but really it's hedonism, the seeking of pleasure. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited by getting back home is the fact that I can now be able to get back into work. And I've gotten back today, and I've been able to clean and organize and prep and do and all these things. And I'm now at a place where I am on purpose, lit up. I'm excited to dig into work and to just really focus on evolving myself and my business. And I'm really grateful for the time I had, but I also understand there's a little piece of me that's this pleasure monkey that if I don't keep it at bay, it can turn into this gluttonous thing. And I thought this was an interesting thing to share because I don't know if anybody else ever goes on these adventures where you just consume and pleasure and all this stuff and then it overtakes you. But if you remove yourself out of the environment and just really lean into the work, at least for myself, I feel it's much more rewarding. While in the moment it might be harder, the backside of it, I just feel way better.